Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 5 of my Supremacist Wingbardy campaign here at Hearts of Iron 4 Equestria at War, beta version 1.9. Deeply sorry about being so tired last night when I was recording. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm rested up, mostly. And the first thing I want to do is kind of take a look here at what the heck is going on in the world, because I was booting the game up and I was seeing here some things around here, and I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. So like, first off, when did the war in the Griffonian Empire end? I'm guessing Phathesia won. Yes, they did. Okay, so they won and they rechristened themselves the Griffonian Empire. I can't imagine that Supremacist guy ever winning with, if it turns out you have to go to war with everybody. What's the IDC Bronze Hill? Never seen this before. I don't know, the International Dog Commune, or I don't know, who knows. Okay, so we've got that going on. Oh, the Nimbusian Autocracy is happening. That's fun. That was a really fun campaign. I remember playing as them. You get super duper elite troops, but the problem is you don't have very many of them. Okay, Grand Principality of Lake City is happening. How long has it been a thing that they changed their color like that? Who won in Casa? Luo Ramedi. Okay, we'll see how he goes, or how things go with him. And there's a mutual guarantee of independence right now with Herindreland, because they've both gone harmony. Okay, interesting. Yeah, Asterion is still fighting Siena Lucia and can't seem to figure it out. And we were getting ready to take on New Maryland, right, while Equestria was dealing with these other things, with the ongoing civil war. Of course, they might potentially be trying to do a naval invasion of New Maryland, so we need to take that first. Alright, and then what else was going on? We did the Terran Conference. Prywin seems to be focusing on defense for right now, but they are eventually going to go after Griffinstone, so we need to be ready. We just basically need to finish this corner. We need to clear this corner of the continent for ourselves ASAP. So let's get to that. Okay, and we are about 50 days away. For too long have the Ponies of Equestria had a hold on our rightful continent. The Griffonian Republic is making some moves in the north, going after Brantbeak. Do these guys have their own, like, actual custom focus tree? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay. There's just so much in content in Equestria at War. People keep saying, when is Zebraca gonna come? When are we getting the third continent? Have you gone through all of Griffonia yet? So much happening. I'm sure there's people who have. But my point stands. Alright, we never need this open again because we just, yeah, we're the only political party, so whatever. We've still got rising mafia influence, and I just don't know what I'm going to do about it. We could try to grab the 10% one here, the National Recreation Club. Oh, but we have to be at peace to do it. Yeah, so I think the Mafia is coming back because of this interminable war against Siena Lucia, so maybe we should be figuring something out sooner rather than later. But I gotta deal with Maryland first, and once this is done, I think we'll... Oh, good, we already have Marines researched, actually. That's great. Okay, if that's the case, let's try to get some of these recruited. Okay, cost 0, this should also cost 0, and then that costs 5. Good, good, good. Yeah, that's acceptable. Acceptable. Okay. So we'll try to get a few Marines ready. To get a proper invasion going over here. But the Mafia is coming back. There seems to be very little we can do about that. Okay, how's this looking? Estimated plan is considered risky. ATM. Here. Okay. What do we need? What do we need? We're working on land doctrine already. We're working on the research stuff. A little bit too ahead of time on the industry. could start Special Forces. This is going to help with HP and max speed. Well, that'll be good for the Marines. Yeah. They oppress the native Griffins and exploit the land which rightfully belongs to Griffins. We will demand our lands back, or we will get back our demands with the sword. The Erie War has begun. What is this? Marite cult uncovered. Recently, our security forces investigated an anonymous hint about a secret Marite cult. Okay, this isn't Skyfall. There's somebody who could do this. That discreetly held meetings in our capital and have now managed to track them down. The cultists were raided as they were holding a gathering and were arrested. Marite cults appear from time to time, but constant vigilance usually manages to keep them at bay, forcing them to hide away from mainstream society. However, the fact that a sect was gathering in Carthan is worrisome and might indicate it was merely a single cell of a larger organization. Unfortunately, interrogations of the prisoners yielded few results. Further investigations have already been launched to cleanse the taint before it spreads too wide. As is custom, Maorites are executed as soon as possible, but in recent times some citizens have called this action cruel and are requesting we simply imprison them instead and keep them under constant surveillance. Well, either way, we're going to get a little bit more stability, a whole 1%. Execute them all immediately! We're not doing that kind of supremacist run where we screw around with Mar. There's fun to be had there, but not today, not in this campaign. You really want to have some fun with Mar, go check out my Griefald guide so you can learn about that. New Maryland has refused our demands, and now we get claims on everything. Okay. 72 days. I get the feeling we're not going to be able to finish up the war that fast. Let's... Okay, this is specifically decryption and computing. Oh, do we still just have a recovering economy? Yeah, that's right. It's not super bad, but it is there. So we can do 1, 2, 3. I think the higher priority is we need to get more research happening. So let's start working on our air development and things like that. Okay, here we go. Just got to push across somewhere or other, and it looks like the north is where we're going to do it. Good job to Lucien. Going right in, going after New Manhattan. The greatest city in the pony world. The greatest city in the pony world. I know. So, okay. So, actually, the Manhattan thing reminded me of something. So, back in the day, we used to watch television on the basic channel. You know, you had your antenna. Anyway, so I remember when I was younger, there was this show that came out. It was called New Amsterdam. And no, not the hospital show that's been going on now. Or, I don't know, maybe that one's already over. I genuinely do not have a clue. But it was this show, and it was starring this actor, what was he? He was like in Gods of Egypt and other stuff. Nikolai Custer. I think he's Norwegian or something. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry. Anyway, he was. So the concept of the show. What's this? Expedition wants to send an expeditionary force. Well, thank you very much, Griffinstone. One division's not very much, but it's the thought that counts, damn it. So the concept was, he was a guy, he was one of the original Dutch settlers of what is now, you know, Manhattan. And so it's the 1600s, and him and his fellow settlers end up getting in a conflict with the local Native Americans. And there's some sort of incident, like the colonists, some of his fellow settlers are attempting to kill some of the Native Americans or something. And so he ends up saving the life of at least one of them or whatever. And then he gets shot in return or knifed by his, you know, alleged friends. And so then he wakes, it looks like he's going to die, but then he wakes up. Hold on. Fall of Sunset. Fighting has come to an end in the city of Sunset as the last of New Marylander defenders surrendered on the steps of the Opera House. The building itself had been gutted by fires caused by Wingbardy and artillery barrages. The Sunset Harbor Bridge remained intact as the New Marylander forces couldn't bring themselves to destroy the iconic symbol of the city. The Wingbardian flag now flies from the top of the bridge's archway, letting all know who now control the city. Time to have a barbie on the beach. Okay, let's maybe head down to mainboard because mainboard doesn't have a port, and actually you head down to Appalade. So anyway, the concept was that so he gets waken up and it's like the local Native American shaman woman or whatever, and she gives him the gift of immortality, and so he's going to be immortal and he's also never going to age. So then the crux of the story... Now there's a way that his immortality could go away, and we're going to talk about it later because it was the worst part of the show, except in one instance. But the idea is that he now becomes immortal. And so then the title card was actually really interesting. In fact, I wonder if it's on YouTube somewhere. Give me a second here. New Amsterdam intro. Because it's probably going to pull up the frickin'... Yep, it's just hospital. Oh, no, nice. Here it is. So this is really cool. Give me a second. I'm going to play it on mute because I don't know if the music's copyrighted. So give me a second to pull it up. Alright, so this is it. And so, like, the intro... You see the island transform, and then it shows Times Square, because the concept is that every year, once photography was invented, or even before that, I think he would sketch it. He liked to take pictures of Times Square. So he ends up becoming a detective, and because he's immortal and he's like 400 plus years old or whatever, he's able to, use his prior knowledge to... Wait, hold on, we gotta cut back. And we're back. So he would use prior knowledges, his prior knowledge, to help him solve cases in the modern day. So, like, it was super interesting because you'd have flashbacks to different parts of his life in every episode. So, for example, you'd see what he was doing during the Civil War, where he was a surgeon, and things like that. Really, really interesting stuff, in my personal opinion. Here was the problem with the show, and I genuinely like to think that this is why it got canceled. The concept behind his immortality and how it would go away is that he would finally get to be normal again if he fell in love. Like if he found his true love or whatever. So that becomes a subplot of him trying to find, his true love, so that he could die already. Because I guess once it's been 400 years, you're a little tired. You want to go to the perma sleep and visit the undiscovered country. 11 divisions as expeditionary forces. Thank you very much, Francistria. Good boy. Probably driving off so many people with this tangent while I'm supposed to be focusing on the war. Man, Italian generals suck. Are those changelings? Oh, whoa. Did I just see changelings down here? That is a changeling division. That is somebody from the changeling lands. Are they getting volunteers? Yes, the Changelings have sent volunteers to New Maryland. So is the Confederation of Southern States. So is the Griffin Republic. So is Prywin. So is the River Republic. Jesus, I bet they have more divisions that are volunteers than their own people. Actually, that's not true. That might not be true. But wow. I wonder if we're gonna have to end up going into Starfall and Southern Cross. Wow, that's really interesting. So we got Ponies and Griffins and Changelings all right here. Just right here in these 3 tiles, actually. That's cool. But it was really interesting, and there was this possibility of being able to create dramatic moments. But the only time I thought the true love thing worked was there was this episode that was based around him and his son. Because here was the thing: he talks about how he tries to not have children. because he's immortal and they're not, so he just gets to watch his kids die, and I imagine that that's horrible, and after the first time, you don't want to do that anymore. But I guess he never heard of a condom. But, like, he has, like, there is a character who is his son, and the son's, like, fucking gray and old, but, they get in an argument because it's like, okay, so you're supposed to lose your immortality when you fall in love, right? So what the fuck was my mom, you know? Things like that. So it was interesting. Got canceled, though. Too bad. Alright, well, everybody's left. The series is dead. Nobody wants to watch this anymore because of my tangents. And let's just go ahead and get back to New Maryland. Mainsbury. Gotta get down into Mainsbury. Alright. Pushing is going well here in the north. If we probably get to... Yeah, I'm hoping that just taking New Manhattan and then also the main continent settlement areas will be enough. The changelings sent tanks. Isn't that great? Okay, well, my tanks aren't doing anything right now. Alright, this is going pretty well here in the north, though. Yeah, just steamrolling. Just a steamroller, baby. My god, they've lost a lot of... Oh, that's the Lunar Empire. How did they lose 1.24 million people? Okay. Next up here... We can do maneuvers interesting, but no. Let's do... We have a tactical bombing expert, air combat expert, infantry defense, army. I don't know about any of this stuff. Maybe we could just go with infantry equipment. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, move these over here. Do I need to bring my tanks over here to help in the fight for New Manhattan? Yeah, they can't get over this stream. And look at that, they just did a naval invasion in Freeside. Okay. I haven't forgotten about the Siena Lucia thing. So we're gonna get these guys training. But we also need to prepare for the naval invasion. So where's their port? We could try to do a sneaky into their capital. Not super likely that it's gonna work, but we could try. And we're gonna try. Alright. Let's start getting them ready here. What do we got here? An Air Force commander, promotion costs. God, all my generals suck! They're so bad. Cavalry leader, they're all level 1 trash. Artillery officer. There's Prince Gilberto. Politically connected. All these GGs. So when we beat them, when you beat your opponents with these characters, you still get to go easy. Old Guard stinks. Cautious is not very good. I don't freaking know. Defensive Doctrine, I guess, but he's an Old Guard. You know what? Why not? We're just gonna put the Gierto Gamborosi guy in there. Even though the Air Force commander, why not? Okay, it seems like we're gonna need what the hell is this? No, go over here. Dang it, now I've got to redraw the damn lines. Okay, no, we're fine. It got reassigned. Okay, good. There is some people waiting in there. That's going to be a problem. Okay, now, let's take our tanks. Bring them down here. Okay, we've reinvested in the Air Force development. Time for the Royal Aeronautics Institute. Not looking forward to having to dig my way out of the frickin' mafia issues again. By the way, I'm going to make today's episode longer because of what happened yesterday. I'm sorry. Done! Okay, so other people want to claim it. Well, that's too damn bad, Equestria. If you want the rest, you can come and take it. You know what? We'll give them South Cross, I think. Okay. Don't say I never gave you nothing. So yeah, we want to give Equestria this and this. What's this with the Lunar Empire? Oh, that definitely needs to go to Equestria. That's certainly not ours. Oh man, look at those hundreds of points. But if I do this, okay, yeah, it becomes cheaper. So we need about 1,500 to give all that to Equestria. Man, actually, I'm wondering if, because it's not like we needed Equestria to take it. I shouldn't have even given them that little bit. But people always complain, no matter what kind of peace conferences I do, that I don't take enough, that I take too much, etc., etc. That's how it always is. Okay. So, all that belongs to them. Okay. The end of the Equestrian Civil War, officially. Now that we've done that, ooh, 95%, but 86 out of a, that's not 95%. Okay. We could do magical weapons, but do we have access to the crystals for it? We have a little bit right here and right here. Crystals could be fun, especially once I take Sycamon. I'm going to have a lot. And I did invest in the equipment designer. Let's do it. Let's do it. I haven't done magical infantry in a super duper long time. And then once we get to magical weapons too, that's when it gets pretty good. Powerful mafia, weak mafia. Yeah, this is about to grow. Are we still improving the workers' conditions? Yes. Okay, so what I've just got to do next time is next time that I'm at peace, I gotta do that National Recreational Club, so we get that extra base stability. It'll help me a lot, I think. Now, let's also get everybody over here. I'm gonna deploy my Navy, even though it looks like this is going to just evaporate my oil reserves. Oh no, actually we're good. We're still gaining while it goes. That's awesome. That's what I like to see. Do they even have much of a navy yet? Have we sunk it out of... yeah, it's pretty much gone already. Good. The Griffonian Republic up north, they're moving quick, it would seem. These are occupied states. What am I going to do about that? At the end, I just don't think there is very much I could do. Let's just try to deal with the resistance. Not very much of it. It is native Griffin land, of course. Maybe I could release a new Maryland puppet. Reliability plus 5%. Yes, that's going to be good because we're going to be, especially if we're going to end up doing the magical infantry. Okay. Alright. I'd like them to be trained more, but sometimes you just gotta go. Oh, they've already gone! Alright, hit it, help support the attack on the capital. Go, 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 go. Here we go. Pressure them from the sea. Yes! 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 Okay. The whole army. Leap the pond. Now. Go, 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 go. Alright, cool. Magical weapons are ready to go. We need to start transitioning it over. Oh my gosh, we have a bunch of factories that we're not even using right now. Okay, so that's going to take time. Call to arms request from the They're fighting Rumaire. Really? Rumaire? I'm sure you guys have that under control. But just in case you don't, we'll send my excuse me. I'll send my tanks up here to help you out. I'll help in a second. Okay. We're in the year 1011. No, still a bit too early. We could take this, but let's wait a little bit so I have a tiny bit more army experience. We could also start the freaking the medium tank designs being built. That's it. There we go. All the way. Okay, and now it's basically over for Siena Lucia. Alright. We're not at peace, so then we must continue to prepare for wars. Well, it's very nice to have that extra research slot finally. Gonna promote the young officers. Yeah, but we'll try to use that plus 100 on the research here in a second. Okay, root out some resistance. Okay, it's lowering everywhere, but we're not really so much there. Over there, we're having a little bit of trouble still. Send in Grover Gori. And, yeah, promoting the young officers is the way to go. Keeping an eye on this army experience ticker. Ticker. Wow, we still got some civilian factories open. Okay. We could put some... Not there, not there. Here, maybe? Yeah, yeah. Give us a little bit more crystals. Yeah, if we're going to do crystals, we need to double down. So we got a few there. We're not getting much from the rest, actually. This may have been a mistake. Okay. Okay, so the better equipment's on its way. Let's get the better hardness also for our motorized, or do we want to come over here to support weapons instead first? Yeah, I think we do, actually. Let's see here. Arcturian. The Dark Crusade on the Arcturian Order has begun. Okay, so this is going to be great. Once we've secured Silenocia for Asterion, then they could help us take Sycamon. Got a couple more units here ready to go. Yeah, we probably actually shouldn't be making so many of these. So we have our magical equipment here. All right, hold on. Here's what we got to do. Come over here. There you have it. 169 days, and then we can get the 2 bonuses so we can get to Blitz sooner rather than later. But what we really got to do is start thinking about how these are going to be made. I don't know what to do with these just yet, so let's just put them in the middle of the country. And this will start drip feeding magical infantry in. We'll still make some infantry equipment, of course. We need it for things, but magical infantry should be interesting. We won't be able to make very many, but the ones we do have could be quite strong. And it's not as if we need to have huge front lines that we need to cover because we have so many allies. Whoa, wait a minute. That goes to Asterion. There you go. Look at you guys. You now have an Upper Michigan. Expeditionary forces have been called back. That's fine. Alright, now come over here and let us prepare for the war with Sycamon. Alright. I'm going to trust Asterion to come in from the east. They won't need me for that. Oh, we're not in the Rumare War. Okay, so then where's the Mafia at right now? Rising Mafia influence. We're sending Grover Gordy. Okay, so then as soon as we're done with promoting the young officers, we've got to boost up by 10% the other thing. The base stability. Oh, there goes my expeditionary force. Okay. Inferior enemy. We could do promises of peace, but I don't like losing all that political power. No, let's just keep it simple. Just get the 10%. It's only 35 days. It's not going to kill me. And I feel like we should get the infrastructure up a little bit up here, because we are eventually going to have to go to war toward the north, so I'd rather not have supply issues along the way. Plus it's this is giving me a couple more resources here and there. Yeah, more rubber and stuff like that. I seem to have trapped some of Equestria's forces there. I don't know how to get them out. Well, that sucks for them, doesn't it? We'll need to eventually think about a Coast Guard in case Equestria tries to try something funny. What do we want to invest in here? We could send in Grover again. End the mafia. We can only do this if crime-free society, we have to be harmony and have reformed the justice system. Wow. Isn't that nice for them? Let's get a new military high command. The infantry guy could be useful. Yeah, we'll do that. It's a bit, it ain't much, but it's something. Now we get the tank buffs. Yes, yes, yes. Now, just a couple more days on the Recreation Club, and we're going to go right into the Sycamine question. And of course, we won't be going to war with Asterian or Siena Lucia because they're working with us. Trade deal. Consumer good factories minus 3% for a year. Not too bad, not too bad, but we got other things to do. They've made it clear they're not our friends. They've denounced our anti-democratic and aggressive policies. We should teach them a lesson of humility and remind the pathetic Federation who is the true ruler of the South. Indeed. Not liking that Asterian's not putting their forces over here. What are you doing, guys? Come on. Figure it out. Let's get a little bit more of our Navy working out here. Yep, and we're still doing A-OK on fuel. Happy to see that. Alright. Anti-traditional raids. 120 days, we get 0.75 stability, hurts the support for the non-aligned. I don't think we need to really do that. We're up to 69% popularity, that's fun. Because it's only growing. And we can get to medium tank 2 pretty damn fast, actually. So let's do that. In terms of production, time to switch over. I think we do need to start taking military training regularly because I'm making lots of adjustments to my divisions. Equestria is trying to reunite the rest of the continent now. The Crystal Ponies have declared independence. They went Arctic Lily, yeah. What are the changelings up to? Final war preparations. It's not the major civil war, but still, if Equestria is busy down south... Oh, these two formed an alliance. I thought that they were fighting. But if Equestria ends up going war in the south, right as the Equestrians attack them in the north, they might be able to pull something off here. Okay. Now, let's see, we got logistics stuff, towed artillery, production costs being reduced is very fun. Beacon claw. We haven't even gone to tank designs yet. We could really get moving here if we wanted. Modern warfare helps speed and organization. I think that's better than the other options. But I do wonder if I stacked things correctly, could I come down here to modern tanks pretty fast? That would get interesting. Industry, this could be, yeah, that's fine. It's a bit of ahead of time, but whatever. Okay, Rumer was defeated, and it ended up going to Francistria, I think, or did it get puppeted? Oh yeah, Francistria got it. They got their own little island. I guess that's the summer getaway for the barons and whatnot. Okay, let's go for it. Now, can we can we take this? Take these isles real quick. Yes, we did. Haha. And once again, Asterion is having some trouble. Oh, I probably should give them Cabeza de Toro. That's probably an insulting name or something. Maybe that's where they fended off an invasion. The Sycamians before, that is. Very disrespectful. Okay, war propaganda, please, and... what's the foreign policy? No. Got a couple free dockyards here. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, that's right, I need a lot more tungsten now because I'm making medium tanks. Yeah, too easy. Easy peasy. Never gonna do emergency factory conversion. Don't have any intention of doing war bonds either unless I just have way too much political power. More than I know what to do with. The Casa Free State made its move! Or no, they got declared on. Oh yeah, no, they're the ones making the attack. They decided to go after the Greifes Südkontinent Gesellschaft, or whatever it's called. It doesn't seem to be going too well for them. Alright, maneuver speed can be very useful, but I think defense is even more useful. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on down here, come on down here. Done! Alright, so we're gonna give Cabeza del Toro to Asterion, so they can do whatever they want with it. But the rest, oh my gosh, that's a huge chunk. I didn't think it was gonna be that big. Nope, I made my promise and I'm keeping it to my allies. Yeah, but everything else is mine now. You know, it didn't look that bad. It could have been worse. Certainly could have been worse. And I know what some of you might be thinking. You're thinking, conquering history games, why don't you just puppet them so that your puppet can have its cores and access to more recruitable population? The answer is, I don't wanna. Scavenger, yes. Okay. Now, how are we doing in terms of the magical equipment? We can't even support the one thing. What is this? The National Anthem debate? In recent days, a debate has been growing out of the Black Shirts' control over the national anthem of Wingbardy. La Marcia Reale de Ordinanza has been the national anthem for close to 100 years. But ever since Biccolini and his fascists took power, their own anthem, Giovinezza, has, often forcefully, supplanted it. Those loyal to the king see this as a great betrayal of Wingbardian tradition, but the king has remained silent on the issue. There is now a debate in Parliament on whether La Marcia Reale de Ordinanza should be officially replaced by Giovinezza as the official national anthem of the nation. It is expected to go the Black Shirts' way after all. La Marcia Reale de Ordinanza has no official lyrics, while Giovinezza has such wonderful verse as, with Wingbardians' pride swear fealty to Biccolini. This mandatory anthem is merely the Griffins showing how much they love Il Duce. Unlike his father, Prince Gumberto has not remained silent on the issue. He has instead proposed La Legge de Biumave as a compromise. The popular song dates to the Falcor War and tales of the flooding of the river Biumave, halting Falcor's invasion of Wingbardy shortly after the disastrous battle at Claporetto, and how it allowed the Regio Esercito time to launch the counter-attack required to push Falcor back into the final victory at the Battle of Gergamo, with the debate being held who will carry the day. So it's if you keep the original, non-aligned gets stronger. If you go with Biccolini's, you get 5 political power but lose stability. Or we could do the compromise, which gives us stability, but the non-aligned gets stronger and we lose 2 whole political power. Well, obviously the compromise is the best one because who cares about popularity, because it's our own is constantly being reinforced. We're eventually going to hit 100%. It's just a matter of time. So we've been doing all this with just our outdated army, which is cool. Anyone else we want to go to war with right now? I think we mostly are just waiting then for the Griffonian Empire. What are they doing? Okay, yep, they have turned on Bronze Hill. I'm sure they're going to go for all the others as well soon. Prywin is not making its play for Griffinstone. Usually they do it much earlier, at least in my personal experience. I'm wondering if I'm just going to need to attack them first. You know, preemptive safety strike. How big's their army? Oh, might be quite big. Might could be. Might could be. Let's see. Is this going to give me army experience? I thought there was something else to give me army experience. Motorized, mechanized, amphibious, whatever. Let's come over here so we can start heading towards those tank designs. I don't know about the modern tanks. The modern tanks are too expensive. They cost a lot of chromium too. We'll just do... What we'll do is we'll use those 100% research bonuses to get medium tank 2s and maybe like self-propelled as well. Excuse me, medium tank 3s and also the self-propelleds. And that should be more than enough to get us where we want to go. Speaking of chromium, I'm now using all of my nation's chromium on that ship. Lenya... Okay, has been created. What are they waiting for? Okay, there it is. Lead the armies. That's the actual war, right? Yep. And they're going to go to war with the Crystal Ponies as well, and they're not going to be able to help each other. So we'll see how that goes. Vasily might jump in with Equestria. Disciples of the Night seem to be winning in the south. That could get interesting. Because I think they do have some sort of post-war thing where they could try to reestablish the empire. Alone in the dark. This hurts stability, but we get the base up. The Great War. You know what? I haven't done these raids in like, it's probably been years since I used these raid effects. Let's go ahead and do one and see if we can get back up to 100. Oh, because our base was so high, we only lost 3%, really. Cool. Alright, more military factories, for sure. Over here, very nice. So do we have the integration option? No, didn't think so. National focuses. Yeah, let's get the tank designs. New designs for lightweight and speedy tanks. These vehicles will be the spearhead that will pierce through the armor of our enemies. Fantastic. Okay, let's start figuring out what we're going to want to do here. That's it. The changelings are coming. They also declared war on Vancouver. Let's do motorized recon, engineers, and support artillery. Okay. Pro-Princess landslide at the polls. Much to the surprise of both Canterlot and the Republican supporters, the vote of no confidence showed that there was another hidden side majority of ponies that were for the princesses. The monarchy has this one extra chance to redeem themselves in the public eye, the moderates appearing satisfied with at least receiving their vote. So the equestrian status quo goes on. Well, where are they gonna... Isn't there something where they then go for the... You know, restoring everybody? Or taking back the South? I thought that was a thing. Am I crazy? It looks like it's not. Oh, because you know what? I think it depends on who wins down here. Because then they could choose to voluntarily come back, but the Celestial State is gone. I don't know. I haven't played that Civil War enough to really know. I should just quit trying to pretend that I know what I'm talking about. So these guys are in a faction with the Commune and the Peasants of Lucy. Not that that means much in terms of the Lucian peasants. Okay. And I wonder if we should just go after the Griffonian Empire now. Let's see. What stops us from taking the focus? Strike at Griffinheim. The Empire is resurgent or another nation is united. Heartland. Okay. So we can't until they have united the Heartland. That's fine, I guess. Alright, Armored Claws done, so we can get our artillery buffs. And speaking of which, we are severely behind when it comes to artillery and things like that. I got that funicula just stuck in my head. Just funicula. Bum 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 dun dun dun. You know. It's pretty bad in my head. It's not stopping anytime soon. We could try to trade with Skyfall for the sake of it, but I think instead maybe I don't know, army regrouping. He's only a specialist. He's not particularly good, but that's just an Italian thing, I guess. Just have garbage leaders, you know. Epic funny times. And this will finally get rid of our outdated army penalties once and for all, so we can get the attack and organization back up. But that's enough. This has been an extra long episode, as I said it would be. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games. Please be sure to subscribe, etc., etc. And in the next episode, we might go after Prywin. We might also just spend a little bit of time working on our army, try to get the magical infantry ready to go. But I think if we take out Prywin's little faction here and the Griffonian Empire is still not unified, we might just do it manually and go take them out. Yeah, because everything has gone really well here. I really expected at least Equestria to try to take New Maryland back, but it hasn't happened. Now they're a little bit occupied with some other matters. Let's see here. Yeah, hold on. Do that. Okay, we really don't have much factory space when you get right down to it. Not as much as we could. Okay, so I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.